Hi friends, welcome to Developer Tips. Today we'll discuss about Angular 20 new feature. In this video, we will walk through all the major feature of Angular 20 with real code example. First, we'll do the installation and setup. Then we'll jump to zoneless change detection. Then new control flow syntax, extend template syntax, standalone component style guide for the changes in the style guide. Then about the signal. In signal, there is few things which is already introduced in an earlier Angular version, which are now stable. Also, there is few things which is newly introduced. We'll go through all these. Then in the testing side, now there is no more karma. We have to use Jest for our unit testing. Then in the SSR, that means server side rendering, there has been few changes. And finally, we'll see for the changes in CLI and DevTool updates. Here we'll compare Angular 19 application and Angular 20 application, how they are different and how there is the bundle size is decreased and how it's bootstrapped fast. That also will compare. We'll create two application and will compare or both these application. You will get to know what is the difference. Then let's dive in. In the first step, we'll do the installation and setup. That means first things first, let's create a brand new Angular 20 project using updated Angular CLI. Before that, also I am using earlier, I was using Angular 18. Now, how we have to update to Angular 20 and what are the changes required, also that one as well. Already I updated that one. What I did, I'll show the command line in the terminal. You can able to see I was using Angular 18 version with node 22.9 and npm 11. All these things it's mentioned here. What we have to do, you have to run npm install. G means globally you have to install Angular CLI latest. That means now, as of now, it's 20. It's throw some error because Angular I was using Node.js 22.9.0, which is deprecated. For that reason, Angular suggests me you have to use Angular 20.19 or 22.12. Already in my system, Angular 20.19 earlier is there. I am using that one only, npm. With the help of npm, I just installed Angular Node 22.9.2. Now it's installed. After that, I can check what is my node, like my node version is what is my. Okay, I will open terminal here. Here I will just try to check my Angular version. Now I am using Angular 20, Node 22, 20.19.2, npm. All these are here. Now we'll create the new project. ng new Angular 20 demo, which is the project name. When you type enter, it will just ask a couple of questions to you. You have to just read and type whatever is your requirement. Like it will ask, okay, you want to zoneless application. That means earlier, before 20, we have to use zone.js for change detection. But now it is optional. It is in developer preview. That means in the later version of Angular, it will remove from the package node module as well. Now I don't need zone.js. For that reason, I type yes. Then it is asking what is style sheet you need. I prefer to go with Sass. Okay. Then it's asking you need server side rendering or not. For now, I just press no. I don't need the server side rendering. Then it will create in few seconds. It will create a project for you with the name of Angular 20 demo. Now the creation is done. Like we have to go to this folder, then code dot. I will just open this project in my Visual Studio Code. Here I will open a terminal. I'll just serve here my application. Now you can able to see application look like. Here you will able to see how the project structure. You can notice if you go to, if when we are going to source and app, now there is no app.component.html or app.component.ts, nothing like that. Now it's app.ts, app.html. It's look like this. I am just removing this part from here and just h1, this is my angular of, I'm just mentioning like this. Yeah, it's look like this. From this slide we just updated to new angular CLI, created a project, also we run that project. If you want to upgrade your existing project, then you have to click on you have to run the command ng update angular core at that angular CLI. You have to, by typing this command, you will just upgrade your existing application to angular new angular 20. I'll also provide this updated guide, angular update guide, in the description. Let's go to the next step. Here in Angular 20 introduces native support for zoneless change detection. No more zone.js now, just pure signal driven UI update. In the next slide or after 2-3 slide, we'll see how we are using signal. With the help of signal, we are now non-dependent on any zone.js third-party library for changing the UI. We'll see that one. For now, we'll see where it's affected. The zone.js provide zoneless change detection. If you go to your project and in main.ts, here when the bootstrapping the application, if you go to app.config, then here you'll get to know, like earlier it was okay, zone change detection it was there, but now it's provide zoneless change detection. You'll see this one as well. Then now move to the next slide. It's okay, new control flow syntax. What earlier we were working, when we were working with new old angular version, or before 20, not before 20, before 17, like in 17, at that if, at that for, at that switch it introduced. Before that we are using directive like star ng if, star ng for, star ng switch. This is earlier we are using, but now we are will use at that if, at that for, at that switch, we will use that one. Like normally what it's why it introduced, it's a cleaner approach, cleaner syntax with at that if, at that for, and at that switch. Like okay, we'll move to the code and we'll see how it's affected. On the same project I updated I created a few component, I updated that project. Now I'll show all these feature, because if you write this thing from the scratch, then it will also take a little more time. That one will explain each and everything with the code. For the control flow, I just use this control flow example, how earlier we are using, how now we are using. This is the official document. I will add this official document in the description as well. You can go and check that one as well. Earlier how we are using at that ng if, then okay, each logged in, then okay, we are showing this one. For also we are doing like this, star ng for, then we are just okay, iterating all these things. Then for switch also we are doing ng switch color star switch case, star ng switch case, star ng switch default. We are doing that one. But in the newer syntax, what we are doing, we don't have to do like this. Okay, suppose for if you need any else block, then you have to write another template for the if else as well. But now we can write okay, at that if is logged in, like in the traditional all the other language, like if you go with Java, if you go with C++, like that, we are just okay normal if, like at that if it is also cleaner. At that for, then we can do this one. At that switch we can do case 1, case 2, and default one. The output, you can see the output is similar, like but the syntax is much more cleaner now. Earlier okay, we are using star ng for, star ng if, star ng switch, but now okay, at that if, at that for. Now also we have to use this track by default. We have to use the track by. If you are not using track by, then it will throw an error. For now I just use okay any item, but it should be any unique. You have to keep in mind that one. Then we'll move to next. Here is the extended template syntax. There is okay few syntax which earlier not supported by Angular. now we can use directly in your component. Like in Angular 20 now support more JavaScript like expression in your template, like exponential, in operator, template literal. These things you can use. Let's go to the code and understand all these things. Here I created another folder which is template syntax. I am just commenting that one, and I am just commenting this one. And in the template syntax, what we did, like now earlier you can just in interpolation you can just do, or like star you can do, like multiply you can do, or this was not supported before Angular 20, but now it's supported. Suppose what I did here, it should give the output 81. Now in operator means check the if the object contain the name property or not. Now you can check this one in the interpolation as well, like name is present in the person or not. If you go here, if you check, okay, name is present in the person object, that means it will give you true, it will give you true result, true. For this one it will just if dynamically if you want to allocate some column width, then you can also allocate like this as well, template using template literal that I provided here, column width 12. It will just like look like a variable, it will just work like a variable. You can use that one. Earlier it was not possible as well. Let's go to the UI and see. It's 81, name has property, it's true, its content it is 12 only, the grid is 12. If you go and inspect element, and you will able to see it's called 12, you can able to see this one as well. Let's move to the next. I created another folder which is component style guide. What I did here, style guide, I created another folder, component style guide. Like earlier what was happening, like suppose when we are creating any component before Angular 16, like there is no concept of standalone component, but from the Angular 16 Angular introduced standalone component. That means there is no need of any module. It's look like this earlier before Angular 20. If you are using standalone component, then you have to give this flag standalone true. But now when you are generating any component, by default it's standalone. We don't have to provide anything, any extra flag. Except that there is few changes you will also able to see. You will also, like earlier when we are creating any component, then there is like component style guide dot component dot html dot component dot scss dot component spec dot ts dot component dot ts. But now there is no concept of component or dot service, dot pipe, nothing like that. If you want to do that one, then what you have to do, you have to modify your Angular JSON file. What you have to do, I mentioned here in this, in the semantic we have to mention this one, like in the semantic we have to replace this code. Like what it does, for when you are generating any component, it will just add dot component. For directive it will just create dot directive. For service it will just directive dot service. For you I will just create one component and I will just show you test component. Now the test component, it will create test.component.html, test.component.scss. Now it's generating like that. You can do that one as well, it's your own preference. Then we'll move to the next, which is stable signal. This one, for signal I created another component which is signal. I'll just uncomment that one. What I did here, I just created a signal variable and I am doing double count at increment. What I did here, I just created a button, and in the button I am calling to the increment, and will show the counter as well as double counter here. For the double counter it will just count whatever the count value into 2. For increment, it will just increase 1 by whatever the value plus 1. I'll just go to here. Initially it is 0. Now when I'm increase count, it's 1, it's 2. Now it will be 4, it will be 2. Now it's 6, it's 3. 6, like 8, 10, 12. Count is 6. Like this it will increase. I'll also show you this one, how it's affected in the DevTool as well. You have to install this Angular one. Yeah. Now what happened? Suppose here I am just try to increase this one. Then you can able to see signal 1 and this is 2. If you increase this one, then double counter is 2, double counter is 4. This you are able to track this one as well. Earlier you are not able to track if you are not using the signal. Then we'll go to the next one. In the signal also there is few thing, okay. Advanced API it's introduced like effects, react to the signal changes, and linked signal, external signal binding, toSignal, convert from RxJS. Suppose you are getting any RxJS variable, okay, then if you want to convert to a signal, you can use toSignal. Effect means suppose you are changing some value, but with that effect you want to call some API or you want to store in the local storage, you can do that one as well. Then we'll move to the next, which is okay, testing framework. They will in the future version they will just remove the Karma as a default framework. Now they are planning to use Jest or WebRunner for the unit test one. Like which is okay, there is many advantages, which is a built-in support, like fully supported for signal testing. Earlier if you want to test the signal, there is limited scope using Karma, but now using Jest it's fully supported. Manual configuration you have to do in case of Karma, but in Angular 18, but Angular 18-19 version. But now is CLI flag. In the CLI you can use and you can do the test, okay, ng test. Then you have to specify Jest, then it will just okay work with Jest only. Earlier Angular 19 version unit test is a little slower, but now it is faster and modern approach as well. We'll create in the future we'll create a separate video for unit testing using Jest. Also we'll compare both the scenario as well. For SSR and hydration boost, that means when you are creating any project with server side rendering, now seamlessly with zone.js rendering it will just work with zone.js rendering. Also okay, client hydration, like it will not load each and everything. Suppose in a page you have multiple parts, suppose header, footer, and in the sidebar you are showing the graph, but the graph is taking little more time. You can also delay that one, like you can use the d4, you can do that one. Next changes is like CLI and DevTool update, like build support, like zoneless detection, which I saw earlier. Smaller bundle size, we'll see this one as well now. Like standalone fast project, you can I saw you like by default it's standalone, you don't have to provide any extra flag. Like DevTool and signal graph, that also will show, so that one as well. In the performance tab, now you can see there is few more things are here. Like in the future also they are planning to update, they are just mentioned in their blog. DevTool, the screen capture, okay, d4 block in the different content. If you are using any d4, then also you can see this d4 here as well. Cleaner template with new syntax, zoneless change detection, test runner freedom. Like now you don't have to rely on just Min Karma. You can use your own like Jest or any other framework, improve performance as well. I'll just create now. I'll create both like two project using Angular 19 and Angular 20. We'll check which is taking more time, the bundle size, everything. We'll check that one as well. Let's create. Now we'll create two projects. One is using Angular 20 CLI and another one is using Angular 19. And we'll compare how much time it's taking, how the bundle size, everything we'll check. With all the folder structure also we'll check. When how if we are creating component, how it's different also. We'll check that one as well. I just created two terminal here. One is for Angular 20 and another is for Angular 19. The first one with Angular 20 and the second one with Angular 19. You can able to see the size of initial total size is using Angular 20, it's 210 KB, but this one is 242 KB, and this is 68.17 and 57.84. It looks okay. We would say like there is okay, like small difference, but the difference is big when you are working with a big project. Here you can also check, okay, the difference is around 10-11% of difference, like 10% faster. If you are also the boilerplate Angular project, if you are running, that is also 10% faster if you are comparing with Angular 19. When you are working with a big project with multiple dependency, the difference is huge as well. Now we'll check the folder structure. How? If you check here in Angular 20, we just it asks us, okay, you need zone.js or not. We mention, okay, we don't need zone.js. That means in Angular in node module there is no zone.js. If you check here, then there is zone.js. You can check the zone.js is here, but here there is no zone.js, but here zone.js present. Then if you go to source app, you can able to see app.html, app.ts, but if you go here source app, you are able to see app.component.html, app.component.scss, app.component.spec.css, that you can able to see. But in Angular 20 it's not like that. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe and drop a comment with your favorite Angular feature. Thanks for watching and happy